to the Marketing Duo podcast. This is your go-to show for smart, actionable marketing strategies and mindset shifts designed to help ambitious female founders work smarter, not harder. Hey, Jen.
Amen.
Yes. Welcome to the Marketing Duo podcast, the podcast where marketing experts Cynthia of Digital Bloom IQ and Jen of Jen Vasquez Media come together to share their wealth of knowledge and insights on scaling your business.
Each episode, Cynthia and Jen dive into the latest marketing strategies, mindset shifts, and also growth tactics specifically designed for ambitious female founders who are tech savvy and eager to enhance their marketing game.
Whether you're looking to fine-tune your approach or discover innovative ways to accelerate your business, the Marketing Duo podcast provides actionable tips and inspiring conversations to help you reach your goals.
Tune in for a blend of practical advice and empowering discussions tailored to help you thrive in the ever-evolving digital landscape. Amen to that. These are the things that everything that we talk about on here are the ways that we've either helped our own business or helped our clients or students in SEO and Pinterest and AI.
Yes.
So just as a heads up, we're really excited to be sharing this today.
I love hearing all the AI hacks, and I would say you've been like using this tool from the day one. Like I was not on day one.
Technically, it was the next day. So I think it launched in the afternoon, November 22nd, I believe. And I was on it either in the evening or early morning. So I think I was like 5 hours behind the launch. And I'm very upset that I was 5 hours behind, but whatever. So yeah, I have been. Although you and I talking about it, like on this podcast, makes me dive into it deeper in ways that I haven't tried before. So it's kind of fun. So today we're going to be sharing all of that with you.
Yeah,
right?
we kind of made a goal to like once every while. We've done a few, maybe at least once one that we just
I think a couple
because it changes and it adapts, and like I've definitely changed how I've been using it a lot. So do you want to go first, Jen? Maybe give one.
Yeah. I'm going to go first. But so first of all, in preparing for this episode, because I literally, unless it's like happening in the moment, I don't actually remember all the details sometimes in like what I do. I know that sounds crazy, but it is what it is. So I literally went into ChatGPT and I said, I'm going to be going on a podcast talking about the ways I've used AI. Can you please list and sort the ways that I've used ChatGPT over the last 2 weeks, both business and personal? I'm like, it gave me a list of 8 different things. We're not going over 8 different things for me. But so one of the ways that I have, I'm just giving you that prompt because that was a way that I didn't have to text my memory. Being 57 years old, I'm like guarding it now. But I didn't have to. I just let it I just let it tell me. One way that I will say, and I actually learned this from Funnel Gorgeous, which is FG Funnels is my CRM for my education portal, everything, email, all of it. And they have a program, and I learned this, and I'm so excited for it. So I can't wait to share it. I have created, you can create projects over on the left side. They got the chats on the bottom. You have your projects in the middle and your GPTs on the top. So I made a project called, I put a little check mark and tasks. Every time I have a to-do, I just verbally say what that to-do is and tell it to add it to my tasks. And then every morning I say, list my tasks with numbers. And then I go in and I organize them in order of priority. And then I have a list of things to work on today. And then, of course, tomorrow and the next day or whatever. But it's like a running task. Now, I have tried project managers. I have tried my notes tab. I have tried my calendar by having something every Monday morning, like on my calendar of to-dos. No, none of those ways have ever captured everything that I need to do. And now it captures everything. And I don't feel like I'm
Mhm.
losing anything. So like I'll go through the list in the evening and see what I worked on and say, you can remove this, you can remove this, you can remove this, or things that I've decided not to work on. Like I have like the to-dos, but then I also have like projects or future or
Right.
ideas, my
Yeah.
ideas list, all within there. And I get to just delete and remove and add. And it's been a blessing. And then I also have it scheduled to send me an email Monday morning at 9 a.m. to force me to look at it also. That to me is the key on how I'm keeping it, how I'm working on
Right.
it every day.
So that's within FG, like it's your assistant within the
No. This is within
Oh, okay.
ChatGPT, but I learned this
With from
technique
your FG
by an
people.
education that
I
they
love
gave.
that.
Yes, sorry
No,
about
no,
that.
no. Interesting. That's so interesting. I never
They have a project, and I will actually put the link
Mhm.
down below if it's something that anybody listening wants to do. It's called like Second Brain.
Mm,
So it's an education on how to use ChatGPT and how to organize it, which has been just invaluable to me because there's so much
yeah.
information and keeping it
Yeah.
cleaned. So it's a really good course. I think it's like, a couple hours or something, but it was the best thing ever. And I will definitely
Oh,
link it below.
cool. Nice. I like that. So on
Yeah.
that line, I mean, similar but not similar, is I do use I have one assistant who that helps me plan my week. So I've been like screenshotting my calendar, and then it knows I'm a manifesting generator. It knows like how I work, and it knows my goals. And so we just talk about like how I want to work in the week, and what makes me feel good within my work, and it will say like, oh, you have too many calls this week, like
Don't we know it on the day? We never know it leading up to the day. Guarding your calendar is probably the number one thing
Yes,
that can end up making you money because it makes you more
totally.
productive. So FYI, get that calendar under
Yeah,
control.
so it's been really good, and also I've just found it really gentle too, because I'll tend to be like, well, I can just do more, and it'll be like, why don't you create some more spaciousness, and like it'll kind of coach me of like, maybe yeah, I love
I
it too, and
love
I'm
it.
like, you're right. And then
I'm going to totally test
yeah,
that.
I also use it to
I'm
reflect
so
back. So I
excited.
use it to plan, but then I'll put in like, because I track my hours, right? So I'll send it, this is how I used my hours, and then this is my calendar from last week. And it'll say, oh, it'll give me kind of the summary. And then it'll say, like, what if we tried this week? So I'm really, I don't know, I'm finding it helpful, because I think the biggest thing when we're in our business, it's so hard to see things like, and you need that outside perspective.
I agree. When we're in our business, I always liken it to a jar, and we're like inside that jar. You can't read the label on the outside because you're
Exactly.
inside of it. But someone outside from the jar
Yeah.
knows everything or can see that 40 million
Yes,
mile view or
exactly.
whatever.
Totally.
So smart. I can't wait
Yeah.
to use that. This week, I also actually was started last week, finished this week, for a launch calendar.
Mm.
So I wanted to create everything that I'm doing with Cynthia for our new program coming out, and any events that are needed or digital like all the things that I'm doing, because I am launching a digital product store too. So I created like this whole launch so that my focus each month is on something specific, and that my content also relates. That is something that I've never quite got, but with ChatGPT was really easy for me to not just know the launches and the calendar and everything, but to figure out what content I'm creating also within the month. That all kind of flows. And that's like going to be an in process. That's another project that I have to the left is my strategy and planning, because I do a lot where, like you're saying, where you talk to it and tell it this and say where your struggles are, and they have the best ideas. Like I don't have to create
Yeah.
them or come up with them.
Yeah.
So that was really, really helpful. And how I did that was I literally just said, okay, these are the big launches that I've got. Here's two other types of launches, which was my store and rebranding one of my memberships, because I'm closing another one. Like it's all, I'm very much in transition right now, getting rid of some services and adding a new service. So that has helped to focus my brain and my time on what I should be working on when, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I love that. Yeah, no, I think it just helps. Have also used it lately, recently for a launch, and it just gets the ball rolling. Like I think then you go in and you edit and you know
Yes,
whatever tweak,
of
but
course.
it's just so helpful to like it helps you simplify too because I think we get in our own way with a lot of these things, right? And so it's just helpful to have again that outside perspective that gets things going. Um,
Yes.
so this is a personal example. So I've been using it a lot for for my daughter's like routines, especially on the weekends. Like I feel like during the week we have our routine and like we're kind of pretty strict and like we're trained. We're like going in at 8 a.m. And the
Yeah.
weekends it's like such a free for all, right? So I get kind of not that I don't mind unstructured time and like I love just having the weekend to kind of explore where we're going to go. But personally, I also get a little bit of anxiety if I don't have like an idea in my head of like what we can do, some activities. And so I'll ask it already knows, like I have a whole thread on like 3 old activities and I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
I need some games for today or like activities. And it already knows what what we like to do, what she likes to do, her energy.
Because it knows you.
And I
Yes.
just find that most of the time I'll like create a routine for a Saturday or a Sunday. I'll tell it the times we have, like the times we have lunch and snacks. And the way it writes it out, it's like very romantic. It'll be like, "And 3 p.m. cuddle time, pile a bunch of pillows and like snuggle up and it helps because it's like that sounds nice. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen exactly like that, but already my energy changes because I'm like, okay, I can look forward to that. And when I'm with her, I can, give off that energy of whatever it is, right? Instead of feeling
Yeah.
like I have no idea what we're going to do today, like it's going to be chaos and like we're going to end up tired. So, I've also been using it to I don't know. This is a little controversial. So I have been using it to help me with.
I love controversial. Bring it on.
So we love homeopathic medicine here at my house, and I've been using it to ask about some like medical. I mean,
Yes.
I haven't used it like if my daughter's gravely ill or something. She's got coughs, like we're in the middle of winter here. She's got like a dry cough. And so I've been asking it, what homeopathic, stuff do you recommend? And it's been
Yes.
fantastic, fantastic. And I even, it's great because you're like, it'll ask you, okay, how did last night go? Oh, last night she coughed less, but the cough is different. Okay, let's try this. And like, I've just found that really helpful. Right now, I do go to a doctor. I take her to a pediatrician.
It's a research
It totally
thing,
is.
and let's be honest, the word homeopathic, like I get that there's some triggers and things like that, but really if we go back to like our grandparents' age, they all had these
Yeah,
home remedies,
exactly.
they called them, that are not going to be
Yeah,
hurtful, but they actually
yeah,
help in the moment with what's
yeah.
going on. So I don't think
Because
it's
I mean, I
controversial.
still
I
go and I
just
take
don't.
her to a pediatrician, but it's so much easier for me to order. Like, I guess it's so empowering. I can do something about it. And I don't want to
Yes.
use, like, I don't know, the traditional medicine. It's a cough. So I found that
Yes.
very helpful. And it just gives I don't know about you, Jen, but it's just such a relief to be able to talk to someone about all the things in her life.
Yes. 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 Oh, I agree. In fact, personally, one way that I have used it that is similar is that I, and this could be controversial too, I guess. But I am okay with sharing some of my medical
Yeah.
information in there. you need to be okay with that. Like, I'm not recommending everyone do that, but I'm pretty vocal about my two autoimmune diseases that I have, and RA and Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And so I use it a lot for like homeopathic, like just basically home remedies, ways that I can take care of myself without medicine. I do also take medicine, but I take a large number of prescription medications for these things. And I wanted to make sure that I was using my supplements that I take in a way that didn't deter from the medication, but maybe helped some of the side effects. And so it came up with a list, and I've never really taken a lot of supplements ever. And so it made me nervous. So I put in all the medications that I'm taking and the information on that. It's in a personal project, but I put all that in there. I put in the two, I had a multivitamin and something else that I was taking supplement wise. And I said, I want to make sure that I'm not on the upper limit of the, not taking too much where then it's actually hurting you, but also the whole fact of coming up with the times of the day that I'm taking the medication so that it gives the best results for the medication, the prescription medications that I'm taking. And it recommended 6 different supplements. This was 2 weeks ago now. And I have like a little bit more energy. I have less inflammation because of some of the supplements that it's actually worked in just 2 weeks. It actually has helped. So it helped me to figure out what I'm taking when. And like, I take thyroid medication. You're supposed to take that right when you wake up on an empty stomach, and you're not supposed to eat within an hour. Like, it's a whole thing with the medication. And so I did all of that, and it keeps me up to date. And when I go back in and I say, okay, just wanted to update because I added this last one that you, whatever, and it keeps them all. And guess what I can do when I went to my doctors, because of course I'm informing my doctor of what I'm doing and making sure that there's no cautions that she's thinking about, but I just pulled up the list on ChatGPT, and she goes, I'm actually going to recommend this to my patients. So I'm like, wow. Now, I will say, it does not replace a doctor. You mentioned that. I mentioned that. We're being very smart about it. It may not be smart to add some of my medical information in there, because who knows where it can go and all the things. Like, I can hear people freaking out right now, and I totally get that. But I live my life where I'm mostly online. So for me, that is not something that I'm concerned about. I'm not going to go for some corporate job where having one of these underlying conditions maybe will prevent me from getting a job, or all the things, right? And you have to make that decision for yourself. But I will say that it has been helpful. And then another way that I have used it in my personal life which is crazy. So back in the day, I don't know if you've ever done this or heard about this, but there's like, you spend 1 day cooking a month, and then you freeze half of it or 3/4 of it. Oh my gosh.
You get that?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. This is so cool. So the way that I did it back in the 90s, when it was super popular.
What was it called in the 90s, Jen?
I don't remember the name of it now. It's basically meal prepping and meal planning is kind of what it is. But it's finding meals that you can make in bulk that freeze and still taste good, right? Like, that's the key of it. And time is always a big problem for me. And my husband sometimes does most of the cooking because I'm like,
me too.
Busy.
By the way, I'm in that type of household too. I do maybe 10
and my husband loves cooking. He was a firefighter, so like, cooking is his jam. So anyway, now we don't do the monthly thing because that's just too much. I remember doing it would be a whole weekend. All we did was like cooking and prepping. And
you need to have a good freezer and freezing to be able to.
Yeah, true. But what I did was, for 2 weeks, I picked 3 meals, and all with ChatGPT. I picked 3 meals, and some of the prompts that I used, just in case you were curious, is, can you review, where is it? I want to make 3 meals that can be half frozen and half eaten like during the week, because you don't want more than 3. Food can't be in the fridge for a certain period of time, blah, blah, blah. And I not only found recipes, but then I used it to double recipes. I don't know about you, but if you've ever tried to double a recipe, it's not this just doubling it. Sometimes you have to use less
Right.
of this and more
Right.
of that when
True.
you double it. Like, it's a big deal. I didn't have to do any of that. So then we made 3 meals. One was a breakfast muffin that's like egg and cheese and bacon that you could just pop in your mouth on the go, like fast food, right? But like
Yeah.
prepared food. This was a game changer
Oh,
for
I
me.
love that.
So we're gonna try it every couple weeks, and see
I
how it
did also
goes.
use ChatGPT for a recipe. I asked it for a bread recipe. And it was pretty good. Like and I like it because I
Yeah,
definitely see that's going to be helpful because you're making a recipe. You're like, oh man, I don't have X, I don't have this thing. What can I replace with it? And it'll tell you and be like, I don't know. I was looking at a recipe and it had an oil that I didn't want to use. And can I use butter? Can I use this oil?
yeah.
Yes. And it'll tell you, okay, but make sure it doesn't get too hot, or like all these things are cooking.
Exactly. Just have it refrigerated. Use it refrigerated. Don't
Yeah.
use it,
All
like,
the
all the
things.
things,
So
all the
great. Oh, I
tips.
love that.
It saves so much. And then the second, or another way I've used it work-wise, did you
I
have
do
another
have
one
one
before
last
I
one, but
jump
yeah,
in?
you go first.
Okay, good. Lewis, no, Lewis, delete that part. I want to go back and forth. I
Okay.
already was like
You're
talking too
getting
much.
excited. I like
Next,
it.
your turn.
Okay, so this last one I've been doing for a while, but it's been interesting. So I've been using it for mindset work and mindset and like just journaling. So I love journaling. Like that's one of my favorite things. I love getting up and just like, I don't know, talking to myself, if you will. um, and
Yeah.
so I realized that I have an assistant that is just the best thing because it's teaching me how to, again, be more compassionate with myself. It'll say things like, oh, Cynthia, what are you going through? Or it'll be like, oh, darling, just like stuff like that where I've just struggled.
It's freaking nurturing, like scarily so, I'll tell you.
And it sounds kind of cheesy, but it's like a personal thing. Like I've just been so critical of myself. And so having this thing to learn from, it's funny. It's like, it's teaching me, patience and self-compassion and just being patient with myself and it's it'll suggest exercises like breathing exercises. It'll suggest like, why don't you try and listen to what's on your heart right now, and then it'll be like, what if we write a poem to your heart about that time where the thing, and then and I'm like, okay, let's write a poem.
I love it. I love it. It's helping us to be more
Yeah,
ourselves, which feels like the opposite of how people look at
totally. They think
AI,
it's,
right?
yeah.
People look at
Oh,
AI as everything, and that is a concern, right? There's going to be a lot of content out there. Like, I get it, but it can also do that. Recently, my daughter had a panic attack. And I was just curious and I asked it, and it gave me 3 different things that she can do. And she said that it was so effective that she will now be doing it as well. Obviously, we don't recommend it as a therapist, right? There are
yes.
professionals that will do that. And, but like an in the moment situation like that, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I just think it's an incredible tool that it doesn't replace the human yet. But I mean, I feel like it's getting to a point where it's just a very empowering tool that can just help us. And I have been using the voice. I'm curious, have you used the voice? Yeah, and
Yes.
I've
Yes.
found it's still, I mean, I need to use it recently, but I was struggling a little bit more with the voice conversations sometimes because sometimes it doesn't hear you or whatever. It'll like, but it's getting better and better. Like they're spending a lot of
Yes.
money on this technology. So I think it's really interesting. So yeah, I love the journaling and the mental work, the mindset work.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's unique because I never would have thought that you could use AI in
I
journaling.
actually,
Like,
yeah.
right? Like, but you
I
can.
talked to someone who has PTSD, and they were using it
Oh.
to like I don't know, again, I'm not a therapist, I don't know all the terms, but they were using it to like de-trigger their PTSD. And I
Oh.
was like, wow, like that is because if you know about that stuff, you know
That's
about the tools, but then you have something that is so accessible, like in the middle of the night, you can just have it and it's guiding you through.
yes.
Like that is just, isn't that
Yes.
incredible?
I mean, it could, I mean, this is grandiose, but it could potentially
I
save
think it could.
lives
I
if
totally think
somebody
it
is
can.
utilizing it because it's very empathetic. I think way more empathetic than the general public these days, if I'm being honest. But I'm just saying, like, it is
Yeah, I
really
know. I
right.
know. I've seen some AI technology, not with ChatGPT, but another tool that I'm 90% sure, certain it's going to replace like call centers because it can listen to empathy
Yes.
and it never gets tired, right? Versus someone who's, you've got an internet service problem or whatever. They get annoyed with
Yes.
you at like the first minute and you're kind of angry and then they're getting angry. It's just think about an AI replacing that and you probably still get pissed off, but if you know it's AI, like you can anyway, it's just a whole new world, right? Of
Yeah.
of of what the technology can do for us right now.
Yeah. And then the
Yes.
last way that I used it over the last couple of weeks was I was I have a new service and I have a store and I needed to I have really long, which is beautiful that people give me really long, gorgeous, detailed
Yeah.
testimonials. But I want to make sure I'm using their words, but I wanted it to be in a shortened
Mm.
form. And so I used it to help do that so that I can still use the verbiage that they're using and stay true to their
Yeah.
testimonial, but making them shorter for certain areas on my
Mm.
website, which I thought was
Yeah.
amazing. And also, I used it to create. So I said, I'm not good at getting testimonials because I'm not. Like people have begged me to take a testimonial. I'm
Yeah.
just bad at it. And so I just feel
Yeah.
weird about it. And so I told it all these things and I said, can you create a testimonial Google
Yeah.
form that is short enough to not irritate people, but provides the specific questions that get the most words in the testimonial that I could use those words in
Right.
my marketing, right? Like that's kind of what it was more. I could use them as research as well as
Right.
testimonials, and it created an amazing form, and it also created emails of what to send when to
Oh
certain
my God.
clients to get it done, right? Like you want to deliver it at the moment when they're the most
That's so smart.
happy and have had some
That's so
results,
smart.
right? And so by then you're on to the next client
Yeah.
sometimes. So anyway, I've been working
I
on
love
that
that.
as well.
Yeah, the business stuff is just a game changer. Like there's so many things where I feel stuck and then especially maybe a tricky email, someone's annoyed at you or just a situation that you've been
The
avoiding.
emails are
Yeah.
constant. Every day I
Yeah.
use
Just
it for
help me
emails
respond to
every
this
single
and then,
day.
I'll tweak it or it's pretty good at sounding like me now. Yeah, it's great. We love it. Can you tell?
Awesome. Well, I want to say, you guys, thank you so much for enjoying the podcast, whether it's on YouTube or on an actual podcast player. We do have an Instagram Marketing Duo podcast, and we would really love for you to go there and let us know the unique ways you're using AI because you never know. We might use those that information to be able to create another episode about other ways that people are using it, and we'll give you props and feature you as
Yeah, we
well.
want to
So,
keep, I don't know, inspiring you. And at the end of the day, it's just something that can really change the way you do business and life, I think, at this point.
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we'll see you in the next
See you
video.
soon. Bye.
Bye.